All right, we're now joined by our resident analyst, Clive Ramathibela-Smith of eNCA Investments, to unpack Nigeria's mobile ICT industry and what the rest of Africa could learn from it. As always, it's a pleasure to see you, Clive. Now, exciting things are happening in Nigeria's mobile payment space right now. Please tell us about that.
It is quite an exciting time of our era, to be experiencing these type of things. Even though I think that maybe a lot of South African banks will be very disappointed with what's taking place because they didn't wake up to the coffee when they had to. So what's happening is Nigeria is going into mobile pay checking. So what does that mean is that they're actually going to be accessing number of transactions over the mobile phone. So you can catch a taxi from the airport all the way into London Central, Lagos Central, and actually pay it without having a card or anything but by your mobile phone, so that you can pay the taxi cab. You don't have to use cash at all. So it's a cashless society, which is quite different, by the way, Flo, to the Nigeria that we know that is used to using cash. One of my mates actually told me a story when he came to South Africa for the first time and he wanted to go buy a car. And he went to one of the shops in Benoni, the car shop, and he went in there and he told the manager he wants a car. He saw a car that he liked. He says, "How much is it?" He says, 25,000 rand. He says, "All right, let me go draw the cash quickly and come back." And as he came back with a bag of money. He said, "You put it down there." He said, "All right, sir, please wait for us in the office." Next thing you know is the police are there. They're asking questions that they couldn't answer. So, because they're that type of people, they believe in cash.
I mean, it is a bit of a somewhat of a stereotype, but we've seen the fact that Nigeria is known really to be a cash society. What are some of the challenges of getting people online now?
The challenge is massive because despite the fact that you've got the biggest population in Africa in Nigeria, secondly, you've got the situation where you've got the most number of mobile or internet users in the African continent there. We're talking about close to about 87 million people. That's massive. That's huge. What does that mean? That means that it gives you a database that you can use. Today, people use data a lot. They buy data a lot. The reason why the deal happened between WhatsApp is because of the fact that they know that with WhatsApp, you've got a whole database of people that you can actually start interacting with. And this is also key in the technology space, in increasing the numbers that you have on the poll. So what they're doing is they're taking that and they're putting it into the platform. And I'm really, really disappointed the fact that we ourselves as Africans didn't recognize the need for our people and actually apply the principles that we know best to actually make sure that we meet those particular requirements that they need.
Now, you mentioned the fact that banks across South Africa should really be sort of kicking themselves right now. Is it really too little, too late in trying to get out there and sort of bridge that gap that they obviously missed?
Penetration currently is at the top, so this gives the rest of the Central and Southern African businesses an opportunity to wake up before it's far too late. I think that a lot of them will realize that they should have done this a bit earlier, and some of them probably they were afraid to take a risk. It's natural, we understand that, but the risk of the fear of taking risk is what landed us with Jan van Riebeeck in 1652 landing in Cape Town, because we didn't want to go into the sea. We were scared of water. The question is, are we now going to take the leap? Are we going to go and take the leap of faith and jump into this wonderful ocean of opportunity that is available for us in the entire African continent? I think it's about time that we actually took the initiative to make sure that we take these opportunities. We've got the fastest growing internet network in the world. Nobody's growing as fast as we are. So why can't we use that to our advantage?
Now, what could other African countries learn from the mobile ICT startups in Nigeria? What could the rest of the continent sort of take out of what's happening in Nigeria?
Firstly, take away the red tape. Make it easy for entrepreneurs to actually access information, data that is required for them to make it work within their own demographics. Secondly, make sure that the information that is available to everybody and not just a selected few people who are privileged because they're in suburban areas. Let's make sure that even the rural areas are interacted and they get information so that they can actually start flowing and indicating where the needs are. Because once you understand the bigger scope of where the need is, it's easy for you to develop and plan around those circumstances and apply the right principles to support those type of structures. So that's very important. The last thing that is very important, let's put faith in our people. Let's not wait for somebody from outside to come and wake us up. Let's believe in our businesses locally here. Let's invest here. Let's have an incubator here that we can build and robustly comprise of number of entrepreneurs within the very African
What's
continent.
making us fail in believing in ourselves and our own business? What is the problem?
I think it's more cultural than anything else.
Yeah.
I think it's much more difficult for somebody to trust you with my money. I think even today, as much as an experienced investor that I am, my father still doesn't want me to touch his money because he thinks that I'm going to do something silly with it. So it's something that needs to get out of our minds. We need to move. We need to have a paradigm shift of thinking as Africans, especially young ones, to make sure that we are included in the next generation. We can create better things, build more, and make sure that our people are looked after. Because if there's anybody that's going to change the African context in terms of economy, it's going to be the young people. But we need faith from our elderly statesmen.
All right, Clive, of course, always a pleasure. Thank you very much. So that's Clive Ramathibela-Smith of eNCA Investments.